What is up, good people? It's your backyard legend, the man, D Nice, back again with the mammoth feast, a fearsome competition between smoker and braai stand. As you can see, it's a beautiful, juicy, succulent spread with some salad, and yes, indeed, this is the part where I take you back to where it all started and how it all came together. So first of all, we've got two beautiful birds that I've wet brined, as you can see with the ingredients on your screen. Now the beauty of wet brining is that it gives your chicken lots of flavor, and you can customize this to basically whatever you want your chicken to taste like. I like a nice herb chicken with a bit of sweetness and a bit of tanginess. That's why I've added the lemon and some brown sugar. Now what we're about to do is what's known as spatchcock. Now when you spatchcock a chicken, that's when you cut the backbone off of a chicken and lay it out flat. The benefit of that, of course, is that you get more surface area from the chicken, better airflow and heat circulation in your cooking chamber. Because if you compare it to a whole chicken without being spatchcocked, you have the whole cavity there where basically not much heat or smoke is penetrating in that cavity. So I'd rather spatchcock it also, just because it's better presentation when it's all said and done. So what I'm doing there is just cutting off the backbone on either side of the tail. You want to make sure that you've got some really good quality kitchen shears, or heavy duty chef's knife will do the trick, but I prefer to use shears. Now for backyard barbecuing, of course, it doesn't have to be too precise or too pretty. Once you got the backbone fully removed, you may notice some cartilage or a U-shaped bone just in the center. What you want to do is give it a slight nip or slight cut to initiate the breakage and make it easy for you to spatchcock it once we turn it upside down, as I'm doing right there. So give it a flip. Place your thumbs just over the breastbone and gently persuade it into sort of laying flat on the board. And there you have it. A nicely spatchcocked chicken ready to hit the flames for some grilling. Now I've always been curious of how this word came about, but a quick Google search revealed that it actually has its origins in Ireland. So if anyone watching is indeed from Ireland, please hit me up and yeah, let me know if that's true or not. Kind of curious because Irish people aren't that famous for chicken. I certainly go to them for advice on single malt whiskey and the like, but yeah, not so much chicken. So now that both of our birds are nicely spatchcocked, I will proceed to cut them in half just for flipping and handling on the grill. I'm using a Baccarat Iconics chef's knife. I will drop a link in the bio. This chicken had some tough bones. I guess that's that free range toughness. So you can tell that's not some caged, over injected, hormone infused bird. All right, moving on to seasoning. Now both of these birds are going to get the Nando's treatment. One of them is going to get a combination of garlic and smoky barbecue rub, and the other one is going to get a peri-peri basting, which I'll make a little bit later in this video. So flip it over and get the rubs as evenly distributed as possible, starting with the garlic rub and followed by the smoky barbecue rub on both halves of that chicken. Once you've got a nice coat, go on and pat it down so that it sticks to the meat. Try not to rub, otherwise it'll clump up. and then give it a flip and do the same thing for the skin side. Done and dusted. I'm going to let the seasoning set while we start up the fire. On the left of the screen is the Matador bullet smoker, and on the right of the screen is the Pro Smoke offset smoker. Now I'm going to be using the bullet smoker as an indirect smoker, just as a classic smoker, but I'm going to convert the offset cooking chamber into a Braai stand. Now that's the exciting part, and I'm going to show you step by step just how I managed to get that done. So first off, I'm laying down some heavy duty aluminum foil at the bottom of the cooking chamber. The foil is going to catch any ash or charcoal that falls through the grates and also protects the steel of my cooking chamber. Once that's laid down, I place the charcoal grates on top of the foil, followed by the cooking grates, which I'm only using 2 out of 3, allowing me to move the chicken back and forth so it doesn't burn. Give it a quick clean, bust out the old grill brush and some barbecue wipes, because I don't care what they say, those leftover burn bits from your last grill do not add flavor, so get it clean. And just like that, your offset cook chamber has become a Braai stand. Boom! Now once the charcoal is good to go, I'm going to take that chimney and pour it over some of the leftover charcoal that I had from the previous cook. Careful not to burn yourself, like I did. With the coals on one side, that's what they call a 2-zone setup. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the bullet smoker and let it come up to temp. I'm aiming for a temperature range of 250 to 275, thereabouts. I'm adjusting all the bottom vents to fully open position to allow maximum airflow into the smoker, and also making sure the top vent is also fully open while it comes up to temp. During this cook, I'm going to be using pecan wood chunks. Some really good smoke flavor for chicken. I picked those up at my local hardware store called Bunnings here in Western Australia. So now I'm just going to put just a few chunks in there to preheat while the smoker comes up to temp. Now the word braai originates from Afrikaans, which is derived from the Dutch language brought to Southern Africa by early Dutch settlers in 1672. Now sources say they used a clay contraption with metal bars to grill their meat or to cook their meat over an open flame. What they called it back then was a vleesbraai, which is then shortened to just braai. But yeah, my Dutch and Afrikaans peeps, please hit me up in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this little history lesson that I've just given. Definitely would help, because sometimes Google isn't as accurate as the true custodians of the culture, you know? Anyway, now that the smoker has come up to our temperature range, it's time to get this bird onto the grill. So I'm going to carefully place it on the indirect side of the grate. And I've just chucked one chunk of the pecan that was preheating. And as you can see, we've got a nice clean blue smoke coming out of the smoker. We're going to let that rock for at least an hour without checking it, because you know looking is not cooking. Right, now let's move on to setting up the Braai stand. I'm going to just move one of those cooking grates onto the side so we can place the lit charcoals onto the charcoal grate. You want to do that nice and carefully so you have good ventilation and air circulation around your charcoal. Get a nice clean burn from the firewood. After about an hour, contestant number 1 is looking nice here. And contestant number 2 is on standby, getting ready to jump right in. While she's catching up, good opportunity to move on to making my own peri-peri sauce. Cut up all the big chunks just to make it easy to blend all together, and add the rest of the ingredients. Blend it all up till you get a nice smooth consistency for your sauce. Add salt and pepper to taste, and you should be good to go, just like that. Smooth and saucy. Back to the smoker, so I've put a couple of probe thermometers into the thickest part of each half of the chicken, just to monitor the temperature. Right now we're rocking 135 and 131 in each of them. So I'm cooking to color, not necessarily to temp. So once I'm happy with the color, I'm gonna wrap it up. But let's quickly check on the Braai stand chicken. And that sizzle, yo, the smell from this chicken is just giving me nostalgia vibes. It's reminding me of a place that I used to go to back in Zimbabwe called GrillMatic. It's an open area where you pull up in your car, you choose your meat, and they grill it up for you. Once it's done, they bring it back to you with some cold beverages like Zambezi or Lion Lager. Ah, really good stuff. If you haven't been, highly recommend. Okay, I'm happy with the color. Now it's time to glaze. I'm using Blues Hog Tennessee Red. Gonna mix that up with some hot chili honey for a bit of kick and for that sheen. And of course, I'm going to be mixing it all up in my favorite barbecue sauce, the Spur Grill Basting. Fantastic on barbecue chicken or ribs. Really good stuff. There's about half a bottle. So I'm going to eyeball the amount of hot chili honey that I put in there. Again, this is the type of thing that you can customize to your own liking, depending on how sweet or how savory or how spicy or tangy you like your glaze to be. Adding the Tennessee Red for me makes it a little less viscous and easier to pour. You can also add some butter or heat it up, but at the end of the day, the main point of the glaze is to make your chicken taste good, but also to give it that barbecue bling. Check this out. No filters, no Photoshop, just pure gloss. Wrap it up in some tin foil, let it come up to safe eating temp. Remember when we pulled it off, it was around 135, 131. So we wanted to get to at least 165, 170. As the saying goes, we'll keep drinking until the lion closes his mouth. Cheers. So I've been regularly basting the chicken, maybe every 20 minutes. Just give it a quick baste, and as you can see, it's looking absolutely scrumptious. Give it one last touch up of that peri-peri baste, and she should be good to go. Do a quick temp check, see where we're at. sitting at about 162 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty good. I'm ready to take it off. It's going to carry over once we wrap it up in foil, so it should hit at least 165, 166 thereabouts, which is perfect for nice juicy chicken. Now let's have a quick check on contestant number 1. Oh, she's looking pretty. And there you go. So I had a couple of friends come over and I asked them to give me their honest opinion on what they think tastes better without telling them which one was cooked in the smoker or which one was cooked in the, of course, in the braai stand. But I gotta say, I think there was an even split between those who love the smoked chicken and those who love the braai chicken. It all depends, man. I mean, it's hard to say. It just depends on the occasion, what you're looking for in the chicken. You know, if you want something quick and fast, you can go for the direct braai kind of chicken. Or if you're looking for something low and slow, definitely recommend the smoked chicken. That's what it looks like after plating up a barbecue buffet. And no braai is complete without bratwurst and salsa. You know this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.